All right, now that we're live, we'll go ahead and get going. Welcome to Rocky Mountain Inventors, I guess. Well, we have a returning member from how many years ago? Probably could have been 04, 05, maybe?
50 years.
Yeah, it's been around since 78, so a long time.
Yeah.
And just remember, if you have any idea you haven't disclosed yet, keep it confidential, unless you've already got patent pending. If you do disclose, it isn't the end of the world, because you still have that one-year time window in the United States to get your patent filed. And if anyone derives your invention from you, we can block them from getting a patent. And also we can block them from becoming prior art to you. The one catch in the one-year window, which is a US thing only, so foreign you don't have that, is that you're not protected against independent creation, which is the main power of a patent, is that you get a patent on something, and somebody independently creates it. In other words, they didn't get it from you, you can still stop them. That's the main power of a patent. That doesn't exist in trademark or copyright, because independent creation is a defense. But the catch is, in that one-year period, if someone files a patent before you do, and they did independently create, in other words, they didn't get it from you, they win. This is independent creation. It is a defense in that one-year gap, so there is a little bit of a catch there. The chances are slim someone's going to come up with your exact idea independently of you, but there's always a chance. Anyway, so tonight we have Earl McCoy is going to talk about rod case. He's just getting his product going. He's got a design and utility patent pending. I didn't know, did you have a trademark on Ultimate or?
Not yet.
Not yet, okay.
A year.
So he's going to be our speaker tonight, and then our upcoming meetings are the first meeting in September, which is the second Monday. Serena Rolfe is coming on. She's got a detachable hood for a jacket, and she's currently working on getting it manufactured. She's got her patent and trademark on it, so she's kind of ready to get the business going. The late meeting in September is Jake Jabs, who this will be his third appearance. Not exactly an inventor, but he's good at giving an idea on logistics, merchandising, growing, managing people. These are all important things. And, you know, he knows how to make the business work. You know, he starts his furniture stores when all the other furniture stores are going bankrupt, because he's got a different idea on how to run. So, you know, business works this way a lot. You know, things are down, someone has a different idea on how to run them, and then they make it the same field of success. It's crazy. Then we got Mike Massaros and Earl October. He's runs an engineering firm that does prototypes and helps people launch businesses. And then Melanie Romero's coming in early December. She's got a number of products and patents, and she's on Amazon, and she's had to do some takedowns of infringers and things like that. And she's got some new inventions going through. And then early next year, we got Molly Kolkowski coming from the patent office. And then a guy named Brian DeGenario is coming in early February. He's a corporate business planner, strategist. So, you know, if you're doing business plans or capital needs or stuff like that, that might be a good person to talk to. Anyway, we'll do round robin. Everyone just talk about what you got going on. So let's start with you, Jim.
James.
James,
I've been working with that either way. James. Been working with Roger for a few months now. About 3 weeks ago, I think, we issued a provisional patent application for this consumer product that I'm working on. It's a modification to like an iPad case or a phone case, something like that. There's some, that's kind of just a broad description of it. But so now I'm just looking for the next steps. So I can come to these meetings and get some info, meet people. That's about it.
Hey, Gary?
It's very Paul. I have some finished products that I've got for sale and trying some social media ways. Have some contacts from other places trying to get sales going stronger. And the second product, I'm looking for investment orders. That's
Okay, great.
I call myself an inventor, but I have a lot of other ideas and a lot of times I get inspired and trying to solve a problem or add to a problem, or it's always try to make it original. And so that's why I like to come to these meetings and meet different people that are doing the same things and learn a little bit more. It's inspiring. It's fun.
Hey, Scott?
My name's Scott, and I've been working with Roger for a little while now. We just got a patent accepted, right? Or whatever.
Allowed, that's their term is allowed, whatever, approved.
The letter of allowance. And so that should be issued very shortly. Approved deadline.
Right?
Yeah, my name's Rod. I got a lot of ideas and everything, and radios. And, just one of my ideas is the fire suppression system lockout for homes, basically, and stuff. So
Okay.
That's one of them.
All right. And Roberto?
I'm Roberto Stella. I'm a patent agent. I'm registered with the USPTO. I've been practicing since 2015. I'm the US correspondent of a few Italian law firms. So I do the US filing, prosecution, or patent application that they're already been filed in Europe, in Italy, or the European Patent Office.
Okay, so I guess I'll turn it over to Earl and ask questions anytime. Earl's going to share his experiences, good, bad, and different. Lessons learned, all that good stuff. So yeah, you can stand here. I got the mic on the camera on, so it picks up everyone better. Okay, I think you're fine. Okay.
Hi, everyone. My name's Earl McCoy. We came up with our idea about 3 years ago, 2016. Basically, we oopsed our way into this product.
It's a little bit this loud, so that isn't like in your face.
We our family, we had no idea how to do a product, weren't looking for a product, weren't looking to start a business. Our youngest son, who's now 25, basically the whole company is our family. It's myself, my wife Audrey, our daughter Emily, who's 30, married, my youngest son Graham is 25, and then we have a 32-year-old son, 31-year-old son, who he's our product tester. He goes fishing a lot and wants to. And so he's very good at that. He tests the products a lot for us all over the state. How we got started was our youngest son had a bad experience 3 years ago with one of our competitors. Wanted to get a product, and like I said, had a bad experience. He called me, said, "Dad, will you help me make a fishing rod carrier for the car?" So I said, "Sure." So we put some things together, and we came up with that. Graham welded 3 10-foot pieces of conduit to a steel box that he welded together and put it on his big brother's old Subaru station wagon. It weighed a ton, and it would flap around. So we thought, well, this is kind of cool. And people started asking us, "Did you guys make that?" And we're like, "It's got rust on it, and it looks bad." So we thought, well, maybe we have something. So we went to the drawing board and we decided we need to try to make something lightweight, secure, that won't damage fishing rods. So we started brainstorming, wife and daughter, and sons and myself. So we started drawing things out and then putting things on paper. And we came up with this and taped it together. And that, to this day, it's the same font that we use. And the design is exactly the same design that we put on paper. We modified it over time. We've done a few tweaks to it. But how we got started was, man, when you're thinking about a product, you don't know where to start. You don't know how to start. All you can think about is building this product. And then you think, well, somebody's going to steal this idea, or does it work? So we cut the first aluminum case. We decided aluminum. So we cut it in the driveway with a skill saw, aluminum sheets, had it bent. We did some tweaking to it, and we had aluminum shards everywhere in the house. It was a nightmare. And we ruined, I don't know how many sheets of aluminum until we found one that we could put on the car. And through that, just developed into people really started seeing that one and inquiring and asking. And then we thought, okay, we need to figure out how to do a business, a product, and we better get some protection. So, no experience with patent attorneys or anything. We found somebody on Google. We live in Colorado Springs, and paid the guy a bunch of money. And he said, it looks like all you have is maybe a design patentability with this product. So we paid him a bunch of money, and well, that's better than nothing. So we filed that through my day job. Months later, I met Dante, a roofing contractor who has a patent and had worked with Roger, and he said, you've got to call this guy. So I called Roger and met with Roger. We went through the whole thing. He went through the whole product, do drawings on it, and I think now we're looking at 3 to 5 utility items within our product that we get some protection with. And we filed that. It's been a little over a year, and we're waiting on that. So then we thought, okay, now we have to mass produce this, and how do we cut aluminum? And how do we start doing this? Because we just driving around town, we really were getting people asking us about the product. So it's amazing when you think of something, how to make something, there's a million ways to do it or not to do it. So you ruin lots of material. And we ended up cutting our .063 aluminum with a water jet. And it creates a perfect cut. So we had to do all these cap drawings and templates, which I didn't even think about.
Did you have to experiment with different types of aluminum?
We did.
Like from hard to soft?
Hard to soft. At first we thought, stop me anytime if you have any comments or questions, please, because that's how we all learn. But we thought, the original thought was we need to build it, and have a 10-foot heliarc or weld down the aluminum to hold it together. So we started researching that, and it's extremely expensive to weld aluminum, like unbelievably expensive. Plus, to do a 10-foot section of this aluminum to weld it, they have to go in sections because it gets hot and it can move and it can warp. So we thought that's not going to work. We'd do one a year.
Yeah, we had a problem. My engineering job, long welds, because metal will warp and twist, just like wood.
Yeah, it's an art.
Yeah.
You can really do that. It's an art. It's extremely expensive. So after that obstacle, so then we thought, well, what if we rivet? Rivets are strong. They're inexpensive. So we took our shell. The way we built the case is this piece right here with the jog is one cut of aluminum. It's like a flap laid out. And then this inner piece is just kind of a U shape, and they fit inside of each other. So we put those together, and it fits really good. And then we thought, well, how can we get strength? Because we have these little pieces of angle in there to mount it to a car. Yeah, I have a picture. So Graham, our youngest, he said, Dad, why don't we run some aluminum angle down the side? So we stuffed that aluminum between the two layers, drilled out like 80 different holes for rivets throughout this whole thing, up and down. And we used these big, heavy full-bench rivets, and we got a super expensive pneumatic rivet gun. So we built a couple of these, and then we put them on sawhorses and started standing on them. And we put 3 of us on one, and the thing didn't move. So we thought, well, so we solved that.
I mean, wouldn't spot welding?
You could spot weld it throughout. We tried to, it's super strong, expensive, takes time, because then we would have to learn how to do it, or that's another step to take.
That might be hard in a long, narrow, because though you have to have those fingers come in on spot welding, right?
Yeah, yeah, and the way the aluminum, the way it goes together, you can have a weld on this outer edge, but then you've got an underside that comes together too. So you almost have to spot weld it on the top and the bottom to hold it all, because it's 3 pieces to hold it all together. The rivets have been awesome. Nothing in the product rusts, because that was a big concern. Saltwater areas, different parts of the country where rust is concerned. It's 100% aluminum. We use a stainless steel hinge, which creates a really strong hinge system on it. But when we first started, we weren't going to powder coat. The aluminum was diamond plate tread brown, that super bright kind of chrome aluminum, because we thought it had to be that, because that's what seemed like the best to build. So we started doing that. We built it in 2 pieces. We put the bottom piece in, and then we put PVC tubes we set inside of it. Put foam insulation, sprayed all that in there, then put it all together and riveted it. And we had a super bright silver case. Until one day I was behind my son, and my son and the sun hit the case, and I was right behind him. And it was so bright, right in my eyes. And I thought, that's probably going to create a problem somewhere, sometime. So we took it to our buddy who has a sandblasting plant, sandblasted it, created kind of a really cool raw aluminum with little pits in it from the sand. But nobody wanted to buy it because everyone wants black. So I took it to the powder coater. And we've gone through 10 different people with everything we've done, trying to find somebody that would work with us. That's part of the process of learning too, because we didn't know what water jet was when we started. We tried it with routers, which you can cut it with router, but it's noisy and it creates a huge mess, and nobody wanted to do business with us because it would make a mess of their shops.
So the water cut, you don't have any waste chips?
It's just a dust.
Yes,
they use
that's
that
nice.
garnet to that water jet, and it just goes into their big tub.
Okay.
So it just shoots right through it, and
Oh, that's
it's
nice.
just a perfect.
These are little things you don't think of.
We had no clue.
Yeah, the waste.
I mean, we had no clue. I knew what a water jet was, but I had no idea what it was used for, who did it, until we started talking to people. We looked at laser. The laser was really expensive, the companies that we talked to. And everything, when you're starting a product, everything costs 100 times more than you'll pay for it after 3 or 4 years, because you learn where to buy it, how to buy it, how to negotiate, how to buy it in bulk. Like the CAD drawings with the water jet, the guy, his precision water jet in Colorado Springs, he's turned into a really good friend of ours, and it's just awesome because he has all the CAD drawings, everything's in there. We ship the aluminum right to his shop, he stores it for us, and then he can just pull it and cut it. I kind of got off track. The inside of the case is PVC tubes. We use foam core PVC, which is a softer PVC and lighter, 1.5 inch diameter. We use 10-foot lengths. The reason we don't cut this in half is there's been some issues with some of the other products on the market. Every time you have a splice in something, it's impossible to make a perfect splice. On the fishing rods, fly fishing rods, those guides are really tiny, thin guides. And if one snaps around, it can stick inside a splice. And a lot of poles have been broken, sliding rods in and out. So we thought, okay, we have to have a one-piece product. So we did that, and then we put PVC tubes in there, and they rattled around. So we put.
But that, oh, you were telling me that made the shipping a nightmare, right? You got a big.
Oh, shipping's a nightmare.
A big product, it doesn't fold up to pallet size.
We've got to figure out the shipping solution. But those tubes would flop around inside there, so that wasn't going to work. So then we got this foam insulation rubber tape that's a plumbing tape, and we wrapped some around the outside of the PVC tubes, every 1.5 feet. And we put 4, this is our 2-rod case, but our main case is 4 rods. And then we press those tubes in by hand, and it's a workout because we have to almost press the last 2 feet in. Once they're set, they don't move. They don't move at all. And by the time they're all the way in that tube, we look down with a flashlight, and they're perfectly straight because they push each other in there perfectly. And one thing that we didn't realize was it created an air gap between the shell and the tube from having that tape around the outside of it. It kept it away from that shell. So we had a little less heat because there was no direct heat transfer right off that, because that aluminum in the sun, you can't touch it. But inside the thing, it's quite a bit. It's not as hot because of that. It can't directly transfer the heat into
Yeah,
there.
I suppose the rods don't like to get too hot because they're a
They're
composite.
set at, I think it's 300 to 600 degrees, the epoxies. So I don't think we're going to melt anything. That was a big concern with a lot of people, especially from California. Right now, I think we're in 17 states and Alaska. No known issues. Myself and both of our sons, we never take our rods out of our cases. Might have been in mine for almost 3 years. We never take them out because we're always seeing if the heat's going to affect one of them, if something's going to, and we've got these protectors. We never use protectors on them. And we've never had an issue with the heat. So that ended up just solidifying it. And then the way we put the lock and then the thing, you can come up and look at it, the way we secure it. It's really secure. We've had 2 known attempted break-ins that we know of last summer, one in Alamosa, one in Denver. Both were unsuccessful. They kind of scratched up the lock a little bit.
Are these rods expensive?
Yeah,
Rods expensive?
fly fishing rods are. There's entry level for a rod and reel is $300 to $500. There's guys that have $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 rods in there.
So is that why you need for aluminum instead of like a plastic or something like that?
Yeah,
Yeah, his head there is plastic.
yeah, we have a couple competitors that have, you've probably seen them on cars, the tubes that stick out, but the shell in the back is plastic.
Okay.
And we didn't want any plastic on our product. We wanted to try to make a secure product. But we've had really good luck with it. We've been on the market 3 years now. It's been very well received. It's turned into, we make a 2, a 4, and an 8-rod version in your standard fly rods. And then we had some inquiries from the coasts for saltwater products. And those rods are larger. So we made what's called our saltwater edition, which is exactly the same, just a bigger chamber. And the tubes are bigger. And they can hold up to 14 weight fly rods, which are huge fly rods.
Is the reel bigger too?
Yeah, the reel's a lot
Because the
bigger.
line's bigger.
Yeah,
Okay.
the reel's a lot bigger. They're heavier. They're real sturdy. They're mainly 9 feet long, but everything's bigger on them, and they wouldn't fit in this. So, and nobody's ever done one of those, so we just extended our sizes and did that. And then we started getting inquiries from people with regular fishing poles. And so we came up with a product that we call our hybrid. I could probably show you these products. I lost the internet, Roger. There it is. I'll get to our webpage in a second. Let me show you our products. That looks pretty good up there. These are all the products we make now. 10 different products. This one right here, we started getting calls for people, well, what about regular fishing poles? So we made a new case that's got a gigantic shell in the back, a chamber, which you can see in the back, right there. It's about 18 inches long on top, 15 on the bottom. It's 8 inches deep. So you can put any type of fishing pole real inside that. And then the tubes, because regular fishing poles have those big eyes on them when you cast. So we got 3-inch tubes in there. So you can put any type of fishing pole in that case. But then we took it a step farther and we built what's called our hybrid. Then we take those 2-inch PVC tubes that go on the saltwater rods, and they interchange, they slide in and out, so you can carry fly rods or regular fishing poles in that case. We call it the hybrid. So only one on the market, nobody's ever done that. And we wasted a lot of aluminum trying to make that one right. But
How are they secured to the car?
what we did was, can you see this flange that's sticking up here?
Yeah.
It's an 8-inch aluminum angle, runs all the way down both sides. All cars have crossbars that are different widths, different lengths. So you can set that case on any crossbar system, slide it wherever you want it, and anchor it with U-bolts. We use standard U-bolts. For one, you put 4 U-bolts on that and anchor it down, it's not moving. It'll never fall off. No plastic mounts. And then we secure everything with cable gun lock. We buy lots of really the best cable gun locks that we found. And all this is in the package. And then we have instructions on how to install for people. Nobody's had a problem installing it. Everyone's been able to do it. We got a good photo set we sent out. If people come to our spring shop, we do installations for free for our customers throughout Colorado. That's been a big addition, but it's very secure. That was a problem when we first started because we didn't know really how to secure it, because the first case we made, we just had, the aluminum angle was like 4 inches long, and we mounted it specifically for our son's expedition. And it wasn't real strong, it kind of started drooping. And then we thought, well, what if, somebody with a Subaru calls or with a Ford truck, we have to have them measure it, and then we have to make it exact. And that's when we came up with the idea to put the angle all the way down both sides, and you can mount it on anything. Anything with a flat surface, the guy that put that on top of a camper, and he just screwed it into the top of the camper. So that, and all of this stuff was just trial and error. I mean, just none of that could be engineered. It was just, none of us had fabrication backgrounds at all. I mean, we just learned all of this as we went. That's why I guess the biggest takeaway is, if you think you have a good product and you want to make it, make it. Figure out how to do it. We knew nothing about any of this stuff. And then I'll get into the website. So when we started this, we're like, okay, so you have to have a website. So we spent a bunch of money. 10 months later, 2 different guys, no website. And I've heard that story a million times from people. So, and we were to the point to where we wanted to launch. We really needed something. So my wife Audrey and daughter Emily, on the course of a weekend, our website serviced by GoDaddy, they went on the GoDaddy website builder. And
in a format type thing.
Yeah, and in one weekend, and they've never done this. I mean, we've never done any of this stuff. They did the website. It's very simple, basic, but people can see both the products on the front page. They put product pictures in there, they put our warranty in there, they put our story in there. They built a shop, and the shop took a week to do, but we were fully up and ready. And then we're like, well, how are we gonna advertise? Well, Facebook and Instagram. And my wife and I, none of us, we never had Facebooks. I'm like anti-Facebook. But everyone's like, you have to. In today's world, with any type of business, you have to reach out. So Emily and Audrey started our Facebook and our Instagram page. And it's unbelievable how powerful it is. You can't survive, I don't think, without them. We do little Instagram advertisements. We'll pick a couple pictures and target different parts of the country. And you can spend $5 a day, or it's unlimited how much you want to spend a day or a week. And we'll put different products in different areas and try these little ads. And it's all geared to traffic to the website. And then you go onto Google Analytics and you can track where people are looking, how long they're on, where they're looking from. And every time we do one of these ads, that part that we targeted, the traffic on the website just explodes. So I think now we're to the point to where I think we're in 17 states now. Like I said, we're getting calls pretty much every day. We'll get an inquiry. We're not selling tons of them. The cases are, the 4-rod case, which is the most popular, it's $5.99. So it's a pretty good investment for somebody to just put something on top of their cart for their fishing pole sale. So it's a very specific targeted market that we're looking at. But guys have so much money invested in their equipment, they're buying them. So I think now after we're in our 3rd year, we're ready to try to do something with it. We've kind of held it back because we didn't know how many of these we could make at a time. There's literally myself and Graham and my wife and daughter, Audrey and Emily, the 4 of us we make every one of these by hand, start to finish. We sub out the water jet, of course, and then we'll meet at the shop one night and we'll have a ribbon party and we all just ribbon. And try to ribbon, 2 or 3 at night or however many. And then we get all those and then we send them over to the powder coater, get them back, and then we do all the finishing touches. Because the shell has to be empty when you powder coat it. So there's different steps that we have to go through because the powder coating will melt everything inside of it with that oven.
Oh, so it's like an oven cured.
Yeah, they electronically, and I've never seen powder coating. Never knew anything about it. It's like a little electronic gun that shoots this powder real slow, and it like attaches to it. And then they just put it in this huge oven for 20, 30 minutes and bake it, and that finish bakes itself in there. Creates a great surface, especially for an outdoor product. We can do pretty much any color that you can think of, they can get a powder for. We've expanded into custom artwork. We have an airbrush artist down in town that can put some custom stuff on for people. Just an added feature. We don't charge extra for it. We just pass it along, but it creates some really good pictures and a great selling point.
So if the airbrush is designed, you clear coat over that?
Yes.
Protect it? Okay.
Yep. We clear coat over it. And we went and bought, and never painted, but we went and bought all the stuff to apply to clear coat because it's expensive. So we'll have Tom do all the airbrushing and then we'll take it to the shop. And then Graham and I, Graham's a sprayer, he's way better than I am. And we'll put 3 or 4 or 5 coats of clear coat over the top of it so it really protects it. I've got on my case out here kind of an American flag, God bless America theme on mine. And we put, I think, 5 or 6 layers of clear coat on mine. And it's a good thing because the first week I had it on the car, somebody tried to key it. But they couldn't get through the clear coat, so it's still fine. But just little features. We did, and then someone said, well, you need a video, you need a YouTube channel, a YouTube page. So now we're The education starts with trying to learn about that. And then Google ads, those quick little 10-second or whatever Google ads. We're going to start learning about that. We're really to the point now to where we really want to see what it will do and release it, just go for it and see what happens. Here's just a little self-made kind of fun how we did it YouTube video. And all of this was basically done with us. We've done most of everything that we've done pretty much ourselves because we didn't know where it was going to go, and my wife and I put so much money into it to start it. We didn't want to go broke because we didn't know if it was going to work or not. Then we came up with this kind of fun little. The last part was our two boys standing on top of the case, on top of the cart, fishing into the lake, just to kind of show the strength of it. Everything we made when we started was diamond plate, because that's what we thought we had, and that was me, old school, had to be diamond plate. We started getting inquiries about smooth aluminum, and our powder coater had even said, "You guys need to make a smooth product. You'll sell more." And I was like, "No, everybody wants diamond plate." So the price of diamond tread bright kept going higher and higher. So I thought, what the heck, let's try a smooth one. So we built a couple smooth ones, and it's been a game changer. Our standard product now is smooth aluminum. The tread bright has doubled in price on us in the last year and a half, 2 years. So we still do tread bright, but a special order. Everything's smooth, and it was a game changer.
I'm not sure you have a logo.
What's that?
I'm not sure you have a logo.
A logo?
Yeah.
Oh, this, a logo?
Yeah.
We've got a couple logos
Is that your logo?
right here. That's one of them. We wanted to try to bring the Colorado flag into it because I'm a native and we're all natives. And Colorado's such a big, huge state for the market we're in. And we have another logo that's another one. We talked to Roger about trademarking those and protecting the logos, which we need to do. The picture that you saw my wife and daughter putting a sticker on. Another idea was it cost a bunch of money to go have somebody cut those things with plotter. Fast Signs or some of these sign shops. So I started researching. We bought a used plotter, and then I came up to, I think it's Midwest, and bought a bunch of vinyl, and we put the software in a laptop, hooked it up to the plotter, and we cut our own stickers now, and they cost nothing compared. We were spending $5 per side, so $10 a case on just the sticker. So it's things like that. As you go, you learn. I never knew what a plotter was or why buy a plotter. And then once we bought it, so now we're trying to figure out how to it's an old plotter with old software, but now we want to shrink our logos down and do some logo cuts for the cars and stuff. But I mean, it's kind of fun. It's a funny story because I always tell people we just wanted to make a fishing case, and it's turned into a company.
Did you get any feedback from customers, positive or negative, on going away from the diamond plate? Right.
The people, yeah, we had people call, a couple guys called as soon as we released it and said, I didn't want one because I don't like diamond. So we have those people that.
So
they
overall,
want
it's
smooth.
positive to go through.
Yep, but now the diamond guys, they love it, but we still offer it.
Oh.
So we did an upcharge on it to try to recoup some of the material cost, and then it's a special order. In fact, this week, it's funny because this week we had 3 diamond orders come in. And we hadn't had a diamond order.
It works better when you stand and cast off of it, right?
Yeah. But, and it's a true, family operation. It's literally, we don't outsource any of the work, only that item's right there. It's, we put everything together ourselves. Yeah.
When you get the order for the 3, when you deliver, how long does it take?
We continually keep products rolling. So we try to keep things coming from the water jet guy. He has aluminum that we stock at his place. And then, so we always try to keep, the main products are the 4-rod and the 8-rod smooth. The 8-rod product, that was another oops. We made that for fishing guides. The only thing on the market when we started was a 3-rod carrier. I think they have a 4-rod option. But our first product was a 3-rod in the shell. And a fishing guide buddy of ours said, nobody wants 3, they want 4, because I'm taking my 2 rods and my buddy's gonna take his 2 rods. That means 4. So then the guides, we built an 8-rod for them. And we've sold so many of those 8-rod carriers to people, fishing guides and even consumers, because they'll take a couple buddies with them and then everybody has room to put their rods in. But the diamond, we still offered it. We couldn't go away from it because the guys that like the diamond plate, they love it. And on, Jeeps and certain trucks, the diamond fits. But
Is there one time of year that's more popular than another?
Summer, spring is a big kickoff. People are gearing up and getting ready for the season. And then towards the end of the season, this summer's been really busy. And then we should get another rush right towards the end of the year. Everybody says that the fishing guides have all their money at the end of the year, so they'll start buying. We thought the winters would be dead, but we still are selling some all through the winter, guys getting ready for next year. So we're really excited about this next year because we really want to kind of just bombard it and see what will happen if we really try to do something with it. Yeah.
About how many units are you making now a month, and what do you think your capacity is?
We're doing, the first year we just sold just a handful, kind of test products. Last year was our first really full year out. We sold 50 something. This year we're doing well over 100. It's a part-time job for all of us. We all have day jobs. So it's a lot of nights and a lot of weekends that we're in the shop. If we quit the day jobs and went fully inside, we could do 20 to 25 a week, just us. When
Are you getting paid for that? I mean, if I was your son and I came in and was working for you, are you gonna pay me anything? Or was I just kind of?
we're all owners.
Huh?
We're all owners.
You get equity.
We're all owners. It's all sweat.
So,
Nobody's taking a paycheck. We're trying to put everything back into it.
because it is important that you have other people helping you as well.
Oh, and we're to the point where it's gonna have to, and we realize that. Once we really hit a point and start getting feedback from all over the place. But we've spent the time trying to get all the stages lined up to where when that happens, we can just phase into it. We've got some guys that we can pull in if we had to, some fabricators that we know that we can pull in if we had to. So we find the capability to mass produce these on a scale. I mean, unless, Bass Pro or Cabela's are called, and somebody called and said we need, 1,000 in 6 months, that would be an issue. But I think we could find a way to do it. It's hard when you get to that point because you don't know if you want to take the product, because we've been so proud of it being, handmade by us. And we've had feedback from people saying, well, you need to take a trip to China or Singapore or Thailand, and or Mexico, and you need to outsource this for mass producing. And I called Roger, and we had a discussion about that. I think we can do it here. As long as we own it, it's going to be done here.
How long does it take to put a case together?
We can rivet one of those. Graham and I working together in about 30 minutes, the two of us.
And then putting the tubes in there, I suppose it's probably.
Oh, that takes another 30 minutes. It goes really quick. You saw my wife and daughter, they had the tubes out there and they were wrapping that tape around it. As soon as they do that, we grab them and shove them in. And once we do that, we glue, there's some foam in the back here you can see. We built little jigs to cut these foam pieces. So we buy rolls of foam and we just cut them out with a knife. It takes seconds to cut it. And then we use Gorilla Glue. We went through, I bought every glue I could find on Google, trying to find something that would hold that stuff to the aluminum. And we ended up with just liquid Gorilla Glue, scrubbing it in, then you hit it with water, and then we rub it in, compress it, and then we build these little forms that we set on there and then use these clamps to hold it together. It goes quick. It goes really quick.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
So we don't have a lot of time in each case. And that's what we've been trying to do. And we built, like where the rivets are, we built little markers, little jigs, little tubes with marks on them. We bought a hole punch. So when we get these, we line it up, mark it, and one of us will go down with the hole punch so we know exactly where they're pre-drilled with that hole punch. So the rivet drilling and setting goes really quick. As fast as I drill, so as fast as I can drill a hole, Graham is behind me with the rivet gun. And as fast as I can drill, we go down each side.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at. It seems like 1,000 would go pretty quick, actually.
I think we could, especially if we had a bigger shop. We need a couple more pieces of equipment. And if we had to, we could set, because we've already figured it out, we could build a station for this, and then we could build a station for that. And if we had room to spread out with a couple more pieces of equipment, you could create an assembly line, and you could really put a bunch of these out. Our competitors, we've got 3. The first people that started this rod case years ago, there's thousands of them out there. It really took over the market, and that's where we're trying to tap into that.
What is the difference between theirs?
Just the strength, the sleekness, the way it attaches, the security. We feel like we have the strongest, most secure.
Using not a strong material or something?
The other ones are aluminum and plastic. We wanted to create a solid shell with everything on the inside of it that, you can get into it, but you need a sawzall or a grinder or a drill. We tried to create a product that was noisy and took a while to get into so somebody could have a chance to see that somebody was trying to break into something. If people want in something, they'll find a way in, except for your lock. But, and that's what we just, and it was.
Has there been any issues, people just popping off the U-bolts and taking the whole thing?
No, because once they see the cable gun lock on there.
Oh, yeah.
Plus there's 4 U-bolts, so there's
Quite a bit of time.
a lot of time you have to get up on top of the car.
Yeah.
So I think you would see somebody up on top of a car,
Yeah.
and then they'd have to grind off the cable gun lock, which would make noise.
Yeah.
So people would see it, plus it's 10 feet long, so you're
Yeah.
gonna have to carry it somewhere and put it.
So you mentioned that's a pain with shipping?
Shipping is a huge obstacle for us. We literally make a OSB 10-foot long crate by hand. I sent one to Montana this morning. We have to hand make the crate, pack it in there 10 feet long, and go LTL.
What does it need to be? Something like 4, 8?
8 feet. I think 8 feet's 8 or 9 feet is the limit. We're oversized because it's 10 feet.
Yeah.
We built a 9-foot case, but nowadays, most fly rods, a lot of guys are fishing 10-foot rods. So we have to go with the 10-foot case.
And if you section it, you get that.
The splice.
Yeah.
And then we lose the strength because the angle all the way through, that one piece angle with everything riveted the way it's riveted, that's where we get all that strength. And if we cut that in half, you'd have a big sighting point in it, or a breaking point.
How much what's the price difference to the competitor then?
Same price.
Oh, really?
Yeah, our 4-rod products are the same price. Yeah. Yeah, we've got a competitor here in Denver, there's a competitor in Montana that makes kind of, theirs looks like ours, the top opens, theirs are made out of steel. So be real careful with rust if it scratches. But our 4-rod case weighs about 38 pounds. People think it weighs a ton because it's big and black and bulky, but it's very light. Yeah.
So is that how you priced your product, is by looking at the competition? Or did you?
Yeah, and they'll run sales. Some of them, sometimes they're $100 less, but we've stayed right where we're at since we started. The 2-rod version, I think is $3.99. The 4-rod's $5.99. The 8-rod is $7.99. And then the saltwater ones and then the hybrid ones go up from there. But we've done, from the webpage to the Instagram, it's been, this is some of our stuff on Instagram. Trade shows are huge. We do what's called a fly fishing show, comes to Denver every year. And it is, here's a picture of our shop. That Jeep top right there, that's our trade show prop. My son and I went to Upolopay junkyard, took an old squareback Cherokee, chopped the top off it, carried it out, had it sandblasted and powder coated, and we put big 8-inch caster wheels on the bottom of it, and then we saved the glass on the sides and the back, and put our logos that are on my car on it, and then mounted a couple cases on it so we can wheel it into the trade show, so it's a live mount for the trade shows. There's a big trade show in January here every year for fly fishing, and it's humongous. And I think this year we're looking at maybe going to a big show in Salt Lake City. There's a couple other shows, one in Texas they want us to come to, but it's commitment to pack a bunch of product up and go across the country.
How have your warranty claims been? Any problem or much at all?
No, the only thing we've had come back are key locks. And that's because we changed our locks about a year ago. We had standard outdoor cam locks with a straight key. And one day I was looking at it and I thought, if I had a big screwdriver, I could probably ram it in there and just turn the whole thing. And I went out to my case and shoved a screwdriver in there and cranked it and opened it. And I went, ooh, that's a problem. So we went back to the drawing board and found these 7-pin tubular cam locks. You can't pick them. They're those round keys.
Oh, that's like a cylinder.
Yes,
okay.
The cylinder ones, and they cost over double what we were paying. So we ordered a bunch of those. Everybody that had ordered a case before, we said, everybody a new lock, everybody.
So you can replace it. Right?
Replace your locks. Okay. And then we had a person called last week that they forgot to ask us to send them one, and that the old one, they couldn't get into it. It got some dust or something in there and it wouldn't open. And so I just sent him a new one as well. But that's the only issue we've had was the locks, and it really wasn't an issue because we discovered
Yeah.
it before. And then
I guess there's not much to go wrong otherwise.
No, we've literally had no breakage, no break-ins, nothing.
Seems like the quality is a lot higher than most.
Yeah, we really,
Innovation.
That's why it's old.
Is that why you're
no, our prices are gonna stay the same. Yeah, we figured we're at the market price where we need to be to stay competitive to where people will buy it. It's a fair price for what you're getting. The way we're creating a profit margin is through bulk buying, that way. Getting our costs down to where they need to be is gonna create the profit margin, expand it, and that's the only way you get that is through bulk sales and not cutting corners with the product, but buying better, learning where to buy, how to buy, where to buy materials.
So the ultimate question, have you broke even yet?
We've closed.
Okay.
It's paying its own rent. It's paying for its own materials. It's not costing us any money.
Okay.
It cost us the first 2 years a lot. But that's anything is. And that's why we've done a lot of it ourselves, because we just didn't have an endless supply money to just produce this thing. We needed to see, if we had something that would sell and work and be accepted before we.
So, you got a design camp, is it much different from the other one?
Yes.
The designers,
Yeah.
and you're going for a utility?
Yeah. Yeah, and that was Roger's idea. I was told we had no way to get a utility, and Roger took one look at it and figured that out for us. So we're probably, almost a year away from hearing on that, Roger. I think another year. But we're really hoping that we have some good news when that comes out. And that'll be the kind of the last piece. But it's been a fun ride. I mean, it keeps us together. We all work together. We all get along.
Anybody trying to copy you or?
Not yet. We know there's some out there. We had some people at the last trade show, taking pictures and measuring and they can see right there, kind of pending, so we'll see what happens. But it is what it is, We'll just hope for the best and do everything on our part to, just keep one is quality and two is customer service. And that's customer service is huge. We've had feedback that you get from other people in an industry or different competitors or different people. And customer service is so easy because it's free. It's just communication. If you take care of people and answer their questions and try to take the time to explain things to them, it's the word of mouth you get on the other side of that, then the referral base is, and that's how we built it, is word of mouth, referral base, quality, and personal service.
Do you know the quantities your closest competitor knows?
The original guys, thousands of cases. The market between here and Montana, Colorado, Utah, Wyoming, Idaho, Montana is huge for fly fishing. Montana was one of the last states that we've hit out of the 17 that we're in. And I don't know why, but it took forever to get one up there. And then the last 2 months, we've sent a bunch of them to different parts of Montana and Idaho. It seems like they just found us. I talked to a couple of people. I stopped at a fly shop in Colorado a couple of weeks ago. And I met a customer from from Aspen over there. Met him halfway. It was in Buena Vista. We'll do deliveries. I'll throw it in the car and run to Casper to get the guy a case if he needs one. That's part of the customer service. But the fly shop there never heard of us. And we're like, that's where we need to figure out a way to reach out, because I grew up in Salida, Buena Vista's right there, and we have this product and it's so close to here. So we need to do some reach out. SEO is on the list. We've done our own. It's really hard. Again, it's like website builders, you can spend a ton of money on people that promise you the moon on SEO stuff. So we're trying to work on that. And that's where my wife and daughter are really good at researching that stuff and trying to learn it. The Instagram, we thought about reaching out and trying to find somebody that's really into that social media, because it's almost too much for us now. It's time consuming.
Have you ever heard of Fiverr.com? I said that same thing last, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. I've never used the site personally, but it started off as it's overseas stuff. So you might end up getting what you pay for. I've never used it personally.
Right.
But you might want to give it a shot. It started off as like a $5 job. Pay some guy $5 and they'll do your website in India or whatever.
Oh, really?
But it may, I don't know, maybe an avenue to look at. There's some stuff on there for SEO.
Is there? Yeah, it's and that's where you have to grow nowadays. It's the SEO, it's the outreach, it's the
SEO standards for
well, it's the search engine optimization, and it's all like somebody Googles. If you-
Fly fishing rod
yeah.
case, and he wants to pop up as the first one.
If you Google ultimate rod case, we come right up. But if you Google rod case, you can go 2 or 3 or 4 pages depending on the day before you find us. And then that ties into where you can pay for Google Ads. So if any types anything close to rod case, you're right up there above everybody with that ad, but it's extremely expensive.
So you ask them to like you?
Yeah, it's all that stuff to like and follow, and the Instagram is really, I was stunned at how tight knit, and then the Facebook, there's all these Facebook groups out there throughout the nation, fly fishing groups of different guys.
So do you offer a lot of information to them? Group or something?
You can't, that's, my daughter does a lot of that, and my wife. I don't touch certain things because I'm just not savvy into all that, so.
Are you on Amazon or eBay?
No Amazon or no eBay, and I think we were looking at that. We've got to figure the shipping out, because that's what's hurting us.
The shipping was killing you.
The shipping is killing us because it's expensive. We sent the case to way up in North Montana, and it was $388 to get it there. And we're using third-party shipping companies, a company called Freight Quote. And basically, they just find room on semis going to places.
Is your shipping free?
No, we charge. It's not
So
enough.
if you get it down to 8 feet, does that drastically reduce your shipping costs?
Yeah, but then nobody would buy it. The fly fishing, we
I
would
mean, if
use
you
that.
can find a way to not have those seams and you splice it, does that get your shipping costs way down?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if it was under 8 feet long in the 2-piece system, it would be
Yeah,
half the
like a
price to
rod,
ship.
right? You split those apart.
And I built one, was it last winter, or maybe the winter before? I built a 2-piece case that had a hinge in it, that it broke apart in the middle, and it folded over. And that way, when you bought it, you just fold it in and it locked in into one piece, but then you still have that seam, and we lose, because you can't, because that aluminum angle, that's where we lost our strength.
Can you do like a Lego or like a
Telescoping like a big cannon. But that would be really complicated.
Yeah, it would be, and then we thought about doing another product that's just sell the shell and then have the people go get the tubes at a local hardware store, because then they could be 1-piece tubes. But then you're asking them to build it, it's a self-build, and then we've tried all these different ideas, and I think we've just settled on, this is working, we're sticking with this. And see
I feel like there's got to be a solution. Are there other products that make together like that you can steal from?
I don't know. People are paying the shipping though. I mean, We sent one to Alaska a couple months ago. And then I got a call this morning, a guy in Boston. And we've got one in Maine. We've got a couple in Massachusetts, a couple in Delaware. It's unbelievable. I never knew fly fishing was as big as it is throughout the nation. There's a lot of areas in the country where people
You
fish.
plan on adding other products to your line?
The 9 products we do now, I think, although we did do, take that back. We did a custom 12-foot case for a guy a couple months ago as an experiment. Because there's people that are using 13-foot 6-inch, it's called spay rods, fly rods. And they can take our hybrid case and actually break those 13-footers in half and slide those in there. There's plenty of room to do it that way. But we did a 12-foot case, one piece, 12 feet long, and it worked. We mounted it up on the guy's Suburban. And he's a fishing guide. I've got a picture of it somewhere. He's got an 8-rod case on his Suburban, a 4-rod case, and that 12-footer right between. So he can haul 16 rods on his Suburban.
I know a person that works at snowboards, and they do charge pretty penny for putting extra detail, especially their own on the bottoms and tops of their boards.
Right.
That's another end.
We do the custom artwork has been really well received. Guys are coming up with some really neat ideas. We're in the process now of cutting some mountain scenes into stickers that we can sell. So you can put your own mountain scenes down it, and if we get the plotter set up the way we think we can, we're looking at doing color so that people can send us things and we can cut custom stickers ourselves out of vinyl and then apply that to their case. Because it's expensive.
Like they shrink wrap cars? That's sort of.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much, but in a decal. The airbrush is expensive. The guys are spending on the low end 200 up to the most expensive was $695. The guy spent just for artwork on the case. So
they're just vinyl sheet stickers, you cut them out, how are they attached to?
No, these are the ones we're doing now. We've got an artist in Colorado Springs that's an airbrush guy.
Okay.
He paints it on there. And they'll send us pictures, and then Tom will take that picture and just do.
Oh, I meant for the ultimate rod case.
Oh, for this?
Yeah.
Yeah, we buy vinyl and cut it ourselves with our plotter. It's a vinyl sticker.
How is it attached to the case?
It's a sticker. It sticks right on.
Okay, so it's like a vinyl sheet sticker?
Yeah, yep. And then the plotter cuts it out. We take, and then it's a 2-piece. You just,
Oh, yeah, I saw it on the YouTube video, that's right.
yeah, you lean on them and pull it off. Yep. And I mean, just doing that saved us $10 a case.
Does it stay on pretty good?
It stays on really good. We've had some where we've tried to take them off after a while out in the sun, and it was like peeling wallpaper. They're
Really?
amazing how they stick on there. We had to have one, because we changed the color on one for a guy. We took everything out of it, gutted the case out, took the sticker off, had it sandblasted because he wanted a different color. And we had to have the sticker sandblasted off because it was just taking too long.
Well, I guess that's a good sign.
It was amazing how that sun must really take it in. But I guess that's our story. It's
Really cool. Congratulations, did I look at that?
oh yeah, I left it open. Come check it all out. There's a 10
Well,
foot
let's
down
just
there.
pass it around.
Oh, we could. That one's pretty light. And you can look inside it, pick it up.
So you already filed your utility application?
You'll see the cat of this thing. We cut this with the water jet because the fishing rods are 10 feet long, but we needed an extra inch on there for wiggle room. So the material is exactly 10 feet long. So we thought, we need an inch, so we put this cap and we stick it out an inch and rivet it in. What it did was it created a natural air. because it's just enough air sometimes through it.
Yeah.
So it creates an exhaust. Some kind of free condensation is in there, well, for us, but to escape. So we left that little gas.
Take that off.
Yeah, it's definitely winch, we're being winch.
Earl, is that wrinkled the natural way that comes in?
Yeah, that's called, a hammer black powder coat.
Okay.
It's almost simulates a red one.
Yeah, it's like the wrinkle paint you see. the
Yeah.
wrinkle-
We found this, one of the other powder coaters that we use, they do a product in collections called Hefty Fab. We do push cards and all kinds of truck stuff. And they picked this up because this powder coat is really durable for outdoor use. So we just took the idea, and it's been really well. It's done well.
So it hasn't chipped off or come off at all.
You can scratch it and get it off, but it's baked in there pretty good. Yeah, please flip it over, I'll show you how we do that. The piece that's underneath comes around, yeah. This piece goes like this, it's sighted, so they go together like that. And then we take the angle and put it between the two, and shove it down and we clamp it
So
together.
it's like two channels and then you see.
Yeah, and then we clamp it all the way down on both sides with these clamps, and then we just drill that all the way down and stick those rivets in there. And we use these big Boldex rivets, they split into three, like a T. And,
Those are aluminum too.
yeah, they're aluminum too. Everything in it's aluminum except for the hinge, which is stainless steel. We tried aluminum hinges, but they're really flimsy, we didn't know that.
Yeah.
They're really flimsy. So, but the stainless is really strong.
So you end up drilling your own holes for U-bolts or?
Yes, and that's why we leave it open on purpose, because everybody's customers are different. Different widths, different lengths, different parts, so you can set that up there anywhere you want, and then just throw it out. I thought it would be an issue with, especially shipping them out, people are not gonna want to install them or not install them. And I have yet to have anybody call and say, I can't do it.
Yeah.
It's been amazing. I'll send, I had a couple of people, but over the phone, they were really worried about being able to do it. So I got this, we took these pictures, these directions for myself. And I keep looking at it. So I called him, John, I'm so sorry, John, I seen you with questions today. Oh, don't worry about it, Earl. My buddy came over and did something.
Yeah.
They figured it out. So.
Most of the rest are just hunting houses.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if you put like holes every so often or figure out.
I've changed mine on my car a couple of times, so I got different holes in mine, but it doesn't hurt.
I've seen it, you put holes in. Put holes all over, you can move the rack and put. Cross over, back and forth.
Some of the racks are set, a lot of people have the two leads with the luggage thing, it opens up.
Oh,
And those are set for that.
See, it's
Oh, no.
I buy 25 sticks.
Yeah, they
Hands off. We set a mark on a concrete floor, there's something in the back wall, we set it right under, and then we can just slide those in there, once they hit the wall, cut it.
You ever run into any issues or clearance between that and top of?
Sometimes, oh, I should have brought those up. Sometimes crossbars are not tall enough.
Yeah.
So we thought we have to raise it off to get it off the car. So we came up with, we go and buy horse small mitts. We got horses, so we buy small mitts, 3/4 inch solid rubber.
Yeah.
Take them to the water jet guy, he cuts them into 2-inch strips.
Okay.
And then we just cut them with the bandsaw to length, so we can just set them, we can stack them.
those are heavy, you take the whole mat.
Yeah, they're really heavy. Then you try to roll it up and tie twine around it to get it in the car, and it's like, can you probably put this in the car? But and we put up, they're great for that purpose because there's a winch shock. But they stick, they don't, the rubber. It's really good, and we charge on the website, if people pay for them, that's fine. if they call me first. we
Yeah,
just-
that's mostly based on his internal
Is
stuff.
it-
Have you filed?
Oh, you know, in case alone.
Right.
Yes.
Right, so what's the secret sauce?
Yeah.
It's got the way the door has the roof on it, it covers the hinges, it covers that
And then,
aluminum channel inside, so that cam is locking a half an inch back away from the other. So you cannot get a screwdriver with a cam. If you pry on the side, the way the tubes have the insulation on the outside, to create that insulation air gap in there. And,
Several different pieces.
oh, that's nice, he's got a,
And those are tight, you have to really compress it to lock it down, because we smashed the, we want
that's
to.
nice, it's got a weather cover.
Yes, yeah, we did that, everybody loves those new locks. We've had a couple people, I think the guy is in California, I think already, his weather thing cracked, so I sent him a whole handful of those things. But those locks are expensive. Those were over double what we were spending, but
Because the notch in it, every time was, you can't turn it.
he has a red.
Round cylinder, it has
Yes,
a
yeah,
flat swell.
they're just so much more secure. But that foam pad.
That's actually-
I couldn't believe that. They tried so many glues, spray glues are so much faster. It's a pain to squeeze that little glue out.
Yeah.
But it's the only thing we've done before.
Pieces, so they only.
Even if you had those pieces of PVC like threaded or something, would that still be for a seam?
I've
So
done
you could like
it.
hinge this thing
I've
and
looked
thread
at
it
it.
together
And I've looked
and
at
you
it.
ship it in like 4-foot sections or 5-foot sections.
You could, but then when you cut it in half, right through here,
You lose the rigidity.
that's right. Yeah, because that's what the strength is. Then you would be relying on that, PVC tube to be your strength.
What if you have it insert, so you still.
For the serious one.
Yeah.
So you make it like one piece and just start sliding it
I
up.
like anything else.
So you just thread the tubes together.
I mean, it could be done.
It's just not that much of an issue.
Yes, we do, we have 4 different shipping zones.
Yeah, I catch him every time. Yeah.
Shipping's really gone up this year. We were fine with where we're at.
But, you know, I guess there's more.
We've had a couple where we've been at around 75.
There's not some kind of US
Out of pocket to get
Well,
the
a
shipping.
couple of buildings.
So expensive. So we're,
That's the buildings.
working on the shipping.
So that's, I'm sorry, to say.
I've got an account with FedEx and UPS and my insurance party is blowing up. Because that's one of the.
Yeah.
I looked at it, they just came out with. Full trucks on that right now. Yeah, taking the easy stuff. If you're doing pipeline, it's very slow. So then we thought, well, we need a fly shop.
I was never big in
A
it.
fly shop in
Like the river fishing, but I try
We
ocean.
could sell 20 or 30.
Yeah.
And then if they say up there,
Like more action.
they go to the safe.
So we're basically like,
So we're gonna.
every time we threw it out, something hit. Every day, every judge are gonna catch.
Fly shops.
But a lot of them are smart, you come back and the conversation, they got to take it.
We finally got.
Yeah.
Actually, we've got some fly shops where we do like consignment payment, because they. They wanted the product, so we put the shops, we get them, we'll stock them.
It's kind of slow and boring.
Now we got everybody's.
Well, I guess they got all kinds of astronomy now, right?
We're keeping like.
Wholesale fishing.
But I mean, you can receive intelligence, you know, do any kind of research, you know, which.
That's where they need to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is really cool.
Oh, and waivers and everything.
It's not just about the person. It's about seeing literally.
Great outdoors.
No, that's exactly. That's what's really.
Subject to various online attacks. The flies and mosquitoes eat you up.
So what's your background? My wife and I had a carpet cleaning business with 25 years. So you had some business, we sold that 10 years ago.
Did it cost you?
The day we sold it,
You are back in business.
It's been cool. It's literally started in the garage.
What happened if you pointed at your
You basically load your drawings into the water jet.
I can give him a name. He's all. But those machines don't find out. But he's kind of, I said, I was in there, 16 states, to kind of make me like 14.
You know, really,
There's a study on butter for a while. That's awesome. What they do.
Yeah, they say, oh, I got it. Great.
exactly, yeah, so that's something, you know, pretend it's something, yeah.
Well, we bought a
Thanks,
box
Roxy.
because we've been those ourselves, we've been all those capsules.
So that's what's really positive. It's just like,
We've been those, we don't have a 10-minute break. That's what we need.
Right.
Because they don't
Use it
get
at
to-
third, fourth, and fifth party, you know, you're out of control.
Just in case.
You may trust,
But
yeah, it's the same person, but then they tell someone who tells someone.
But then there's a,
You don't know.
It's just,
it's funny because we have our shop on Phillips Street, Grove Street. Our powder coater is literally 2 blocks away. The water jet. And then a mile down the road. And then a friend of ours has got a fabrication shop. John Lobo, 6 blocks out. He's got. So I go straight from the water jet, I go straight to his
Yeah,
shop.
what's the worst human thing to
Temple
keep?
breaks for
is-
another shop.
It's almost like if you tell someone, keep it confidential, they want to tell others. If you don't say anything, they'll forget it in a minute, right?
Yeah, I'm really.
If you say, don't tell us anyone, they'll be like, they want to.
there's another. That's cool. But it's anyway, you're walking on the grocery.
You're gonna make the jump into this whole time, you think?
We're hoping to buy this steak.
One thing, you're one thing, everyone else has
I
got.
feel like we're close.
No, we feel like we're, everybody else, but you're in the
Competitor living with
It's a second guy, people will maybe say, hey, I'll give you $10. You come back here and that's here. The people behind you won't let you do it.
We didn't.
Oh.
They will not let you, so I was even though it doesn't make difference.
Let's try to go forward with this one.
Yeah.
It's always hard. See, what do you questions your water jet guy charge? It varies. They'll cut, if we do a 10-sheet run, it's about $40 a sheet. This cost. And we get, out of 2 sheets, we can get 3 of the 4 ones. Cut out of 2 sheets, the way we have them laid out on the water jet. So that's $3 for the 3 pieces.
That's product and cutting.
I figure it's water, that's water jet cut.
So it's that $40 was per sheet is including the workmanship too? The bending and
That's
everything?
amazing, no water.
That's just.
Oh,
Yeah, we, a friend of ours has a 10-foot break, like 2 blocks from us. So we just went up there and put that 10-foot break, and we do everything else.
Chips.
We've got a box and pen break where we do the caps.
But you know, when you saw something, you always have a mess.
And then we set all those.
Also the fact that you do the water, there's no.
Yeah, that's just.
Everything is the air, everything is the.
Right, it's the same.
Because it's all like that door that
piece of aluminum that Rogers sold, we just bit it right on the square part. It takes 2 seconds to go down. It's the same way every time.
It's not that big a break, you don't have one.
No, the first one we built, and we still have that case, we just took it off Graham's car, the very first one we made out of aluminum, it's on our wall now. But we cut it down to 9'4", and then the cap, we had a 2x4, climbed a 2x4 to it, beat with a hammer, and built this wraparound cap to it, and then tried to get rivets in there. But it was on his car for 2 years, he just sold the cars, and we put that case on the wall.
So you recommend the hydraulic or?
That's it, it's called Larson, it changed over. Yeah. We were using the Harbor Freight pneumatic ones, and they worked, we used it for about a year, but it would take 2 pulls to get 1 rivet, and they were heavy and slow. We got this new, I think it was $7 right?
Yeah. It works. No,
It's just, you got rivet.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah. We sure have done change.
Yeah,
How much power do you get?
it costs us anywhere from 30 to 40. That's so good. Yeah, most guys are talking some.
Which store?
And they do everything like that shoulder.
Is that the big one? Yeah. Yeah, I went out there, I didn't see nothing, I didn't find anything, but I think I went out there. And it's like, kind of in the middle of nowhere, it has like 100 dog doors. Nice to sweat. Yeah, it's kind of like really out there. Yeah.
Great presentation. Thank you. Appreciate it. Nice to meet you. All right. Do you ever have any questions or anything? Just, I don't have any questions. You just look up what we're running. So my number pops up. It's myself. Okay.
Thanks again. Does the water plant leave any waste aluminum?
It goes into the water tank. The water jet machine is a big tub full of water.
And
It
recirculates.
recirculates.
Okay.
So about every year, they have to drain it and get in there with shovels. Shovel.
Oh, so it comes to a nozzle very high
It's
pressure.
just soot,
Yeah.
oh, it's soot, but it's actually recyclable.
Everything, yeah, everything that's in there, yeah.
You need the bank.
But it's such a fine cut, there's very little waste in there.
Thank you, sir. And we'll see you when you got. It's fine. Okay, it's talking to the brother, like that's somebody else, we can do this like this.